Yes. Okay.
Brap all day.
Brap, what's up? Oh,
Good morning.
the notifications went out, huh? People get here early. I assume the notifications go out. Yes.
Stephen running.
Cool.
Hello, Nay. Patrick John Welder.
Hey, Steve.
Morning,
hey, Pat.
Nay.
Hello, 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 everybody.
Brap all day. Got mine.
Good. Good. So, you guys might have noticed, I don't know, you probably didn't, China
Heavy
has
Padilla.
offered
Hello, Nay.
to broker peace between Russia and Zelensky
Billy Ballantyne.
and the Ukraine.
Thought to MYSLF, he'll go livey as soon as I walk into the studio. Boom.
Yeah, because we got this,
Yep.
Billy. We got this going on. So, let me turn off the harsh. I see I've got my noise reduction is on. Let's turn that. I mean, off. It's on now. Okay, cool. Let me get back on track here. China is offering to broker a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine. America's not even doing that. Right? China is doing it. You know, guess who's offering to broker peace but to end the war? Not the United States. In fact, I was just watching CNN yesterday and I saw a guy out speaking for, he was actually the ambassador to Ukraine, the American ambassador to Ukraine. And he was saying how we want this war to keep going. It's what he said. He said it. He basically said it in those words. We want to prolong this for as long as possible. We want to extend this war. We got to look at least a year ahead. And we just, this is what we need to do. That's America. You know what China said? China said, hey, man, why don't you guys just sit down and shut up and let's start talking. Do you know what Zelensky said? No, because I've got America on my side. So we want to keep fighting because America's got unlimited resources, and who cares? He doesn't. Zelensky doesn't want peace. China is the one brokering for peace, not America.
Yeah, Biden said
not
he will
America.
Declare victory.
So, hey, maybe those two guys that Cyber told me about, that I hate doing this when Cyber's not here. Maybe those two guys that Cyber told me about that do the Chinese channel, maybe they could address that. Maybe they tell us, hey man, why isn't America offering to broker peace, but the evil empire of China, they're saying, hey man, why don't you guys just sit down and shut up and let's talk peace? Where's your two boys now? I wonder what they have to say about that. Oh, it's all fake. Oh, you can't believe anything those Chinese say. They're just saying that because they want people like Trendy Nay at Nay's Garden to say good things about them. It's all lies. They said they wanted peace because they knew everybody was against it. That's why they did it. Yeah, that's it. They knew it wasn't going to work anyway, so why not just offer it, why not just offer it and you end up looking good? Hey, man, whatever the motivations are, whatever the narrative is, America wants to prolong the war. China wants to end the war.
Billy Ballantyne.
Who's evil and who
if
isn't?
China achieves that, they'll have Russian nuclear forces standing by China's owing rocketry force. Eat. The nesting dolls will have 10 more layers.
Right? Listening and driving. Hey, freaking Oracle, what's up?
Josh G.
Josh G, what's up? I don't have much more to say about it. Except
Patrick John Welder.
If you think I'm crazy and you think I just make things up, like you just came in off the street and you don't know who I am, my audience is used to me providing links and information to back up all of the things that I bring onto this show. Zelensky delivers blow to China's Russia-Ukraine peace plan. And you know what the blow was? No! Zelensky says no! That's it. That's the blow. That's Newsweek's reporting. Ooh, he's so tough. He's so tough. He's mixing it up. He's a real rugged, tough guy. He doesn't want peace. Yeah, that's what America likes, a fighter.
Cheers.
Bad door man is here from bad door. Oh, backdoor. Backdoor man is here from Scotland. What's up, backdoor? Bad door. Biden eats Zelensky'S ass. The war will be a long one. No, China has something to say about it. China wants it to end, and I don't blame them. Hey, man, let's get back to, our Cold War, and where nobody's getting killed and we can just compete against each other again.
I heard something about the U.S. bombing Russia in many recently. Something about cover-ups. Might be rumors, I don't know.
I don't know.
Billy Valentine.
I don't know.
And China
people come in here and give me news, and I've learned to just be like, really?
Ukraine
you never
just
know.
has mail-order brides.
Strong knees. Ukraine just has mail-order brides. Ukraine doesn't like African Americans. That too, Billy. Don't forget that. They're very racist against African American people. In fact, you're going to love this. The people that are in charge of sending help and aid over to Ukraine had to warn African American helpers that just get used to the fact that they're going to call you the N-word over here. This is what they do. Because they're Germans. They're Nazis. Not Germans, they're Nazis. Sorry, Germans. Sorry, Germany. Sorry. They're Nazis. So, you're a subhuman. So they call you by the N-word over there in Ukraine, because they're such great people. Their skin is white. White is the purest of snow. So we must send them the ammunition and the weapons and prolong this war for as long as possible, because white. Because we love white so much. It's an interesting subject, huh? So like I said, I'm not making it up. Here it is in Newsweek, okay? I don't make it up. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky delivered a blow to China's plan to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine on Tuesday, just days before the war reached a one-year mark. Chinese President Xi Jinping offers to deliver a peace speech before the United Nations on Friday, exactly 1 year after President Vladimir Putin ordered the Ukraine invasion. During his speech, he's expected to propose a plan to reach peace between the two countries, which continue to fight for control over Ukrainian territory. Details about the plan from Xi, who has expressed sympathy for Russia amid widespread backlash over the war, remain limited, but it's the largest sign of China working to become a major diplomatic player, despite tense ties with other world powers, including the United States. However, Xi's plan appears to lack support from Zelensky. During a press conference on Tuesday, the Ukrainian President, Zelensky, appeared to dismiss any potential peace plan from Xi, according to Ukrainian news outlet Ukrainska Pravda. Instead, he pointed to his own peace plan, which the UN General Assembly is set Thursday to vote on. Because China's not good enough. You always want to let another country come in and do this for you. You don't broker the peace deal yourself, Zelensky, you stupid idiot. You fucking dumb fuckstick. You don't even make sense. How do you think Egypt and Israel got together? Because they brokered it between themselves? No, Jimmy Carter and America stepped in there and we went in there and we settled the thing. Another country has to do that, you idiot. But you don't understand world politics because you're just a comedian. And a bad one at that. But you'll make me laugh one day when you're no longer here. And I promise you, I'll laugh and I'll laugh and I'll laugh.
Billy Valentine. Sounds like he doesn't want any Asian support. None.
Yeah, it's almost like he's a racist. It's almost like he's a Nazi. But, that's pushing it very far, and I don't need to do that.
Hit the bong.
I will, Annie. The thing is when somebody is brokering peace, you don't just dismiss it and say you got it better. Oh, your deal's better? Well, then why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you brokering it then, Zelensky? Where's the peace process? Have you even started? Have you and Putin sat down and had words yet? And meanwhile, the ambassador, those are people who are supposed to support peace, is preaching war. The American ambassador to Ukraine is pushing war down CNN's throats. And, like I pull up a Newsweek article to prove this to you, I could pull up the CNN too, but I don't think I have to go this far with it. I think you guys are believing me and trusting me in what I say now. Because every time I say something, I pull up an article and say, see, I didn't make this up. This is the reporting. This is what's going on. This is my opinion on it. Feel free to, agree along with me. My mother certainly does not. So if, you could side with my mom or you could side with me. But her and I, we have not been agreeing. For instance, there was an article, I know you guys are not going to like my mom after this, but I'm going to out her anyway. There was an article in the paper this morning from this guy, Scott Maxwell, and he's a shit lib. He's a fucking demon-crat. That's what he is. He's a fucking ass-licking, got his tongue so far up Kamala Harris's and Joe Biden's fucking asshole, he could tell you what they had for breakfast tomorrow. He's an asshole. And his name's Scott Maxwell. Anyway, he wrote this, article in the paper. And, I don't necessarily like politicians. What can I say? In the article, he says, at the front, I should bring it in here so you can see how it was worded. It said, politicians are okay with guns in schools, but they're not okay with guns in their chambers. And so my question would be this. How many, serious political discussions take place in schools? Oh, that's right, none. There's a teacher teaching stuff and students checking stuff off. Basically, there's really not a lot of debate and arguing going on and not a lot of passion in a high school, middle school, elementary school situation. But what about a public event for politics? It doesn't matter if it's a debate, someone's promoting that they're running for office, somebody's coming out and passing some legislation that they're promoting and they're going out in front of news cameras, or legislators are getting together in their chambers, debating and legislating, arguing, passionately, angrily, losing their cool, screaming and yelling at each other. Politicians say, not a good place to have firearms, so they don't allow firearms in their chambers. Scott Maxwell says, oh, how come you want to allow guns in our supermarkets and in our doctor's offices and in our schools, but you won't let them in your chambers? Because we're arguing politics in those chambers, and it's not a good place for guns, Scott Maxwell, and you're an idiot for trying to grab that as some kind of a red flag against politicians when, well, the politicians were actually making sense, Scott, and you're the one that's not making sense right now. Firearms do not belong in places where politics are discussed, period. There's a good reason for that. A lot of people's lives are on the line when they're discussing politics. They take it very seriously. You can get angry. You can fly off the handle. You could pull out a gun and shoot somebody. So they don't allow that, Scott Maxwell. It's a very good idea not to have firearms in chambers. It makes
Chinese
sense.
Ambassador, I want to
but because he's anti-gun,
I don't speak Asian.
he tries
Chinese
to hop on the
ambassadors, that
he
was
tries to hop
Chinese.
on the side of
Zelensky'S,
these he acts like he hops on the side of politicians and says, "Oh, why don't you want your guns in your chambers? Why don't you want your guns in your chambers for? Oh, what's the big scare? What are you worried about having guns in your chambers?" And my response to Scott Maxwell is, sit the fuck down and shut up. You're not making any sense at all. Allow me. Guns don't belong in chambers where politics are decided, but if you want to have armed guards outside of school, inside a school, in a doctor's office, an abortion clinic, any public place, if you want to have armed guards around, movie theaters, I've got, personally, no problem with that at all. No problem at all. None whatsoever. Politicians, politics, chambers, places where political events are taking place, we could do without the guns there. And I'm okay with that. We don't need guns in a place like that. Scott Maxwell, you write articles almost every day for the Orlando Sentinel. You're published thousands of times. You're huge, and millions of people have read your words. Me, I've got 14 people watching a tiny podcast right now, yet I'm the one that's making sense, and you're the one that makes no sense at all. So when I brought this up to my mom this morning, she took Scott Maxwell's side. And I said, Mom, politics is no place for guns. And she goes, yeah, well, the politicians have guns there and see how much they want guns everywhere else and blah, blah, blah. There's no talking to her. There's no getting through. And there's no getting through to Scott Maxwell. But you know what I did? I wrote a letter to the Orlando Sentinel this morning and I sent it to them. Maybe they'll publish me. I doubt it, but, I'm making way more sense. Do you guys want to hear my letter that I sent? Let me see if I can dig it up. Okay, here we go. Now, maybe before I send you my response, I should go grab the article and read you the actual article and show you how obnoxious it is.
Zulus. This is Eat, LOL.
This is great. Okay, here we go. Thanks. I want to help Zelensky. I don't speak Asian. Chinese ambassador. That was Crimean Zelensky, huh? I'll have the egg drop soon. So you can see right here it says, gun ban hypocrites. Maxwell. Politicians love guns except in their chambers. So they're hypocrites because they're smart enough to know that politics is no place to have guns. So Scott calls them hypocrites. He's anti-gun. He calls them hypocrites for being smart enough to know that politics is no place for guns. And he gets the front page. He gets the front page freaking promotion at the very top corner of the goddamn newspaper. For everyone walking by an Orlando Sentinel newspaper box today, they get to see his bullshit in the top corner. Look, it doesn't even say opinion. It doesn't even say opinion. Those cunts. Those fucking cunts. Like he's gospel, right? Oh, by the way, Florida is passing the legislation for open carry in this state, and I applaud it. Yeah, people are going to get hurt, people are going to get killed, but I'm free to protect myself now. My friend Marshall picked up a gun the other day, pointed it right at his own face. So, I know people are going to die. And there's nothing I can do about that. If you've never taken up an interest in guns and you've never taken, the time in your life to educate yourself on handling of a gun.
Loose. Will you open carry?
No, I don't need to open carry, dude. I'm open carrying 2 guns everywhere I go, bro. Everywhere I go, I got my guns right here. I don't need to open carry, but I could pull it out quicker than shit. I don't need to show it off. And that's the thing. You don't need to show a gun off, bro, in this state. Everybody's got one. I remember the first time my buddy pulled out his gun, showed it to me, and I was like, I could do that. And he's like, yeah, you should. You should get one of these.
This guy's packing heat.
Yeah, I'm packing some freaking guns, baby. Anyway, that's, I think, 200 push-ups this morning. Yeah, 200 push-ups this morning. All in one set.
Nice. Very good.
Where gung-ho for guns goes to die. Right? So, This guy is just screaming to the wind. I want you to know this, because he's just a little voice, believe it or not, in a sea of Florida where we all have gun rights. And he's hating it. And this is how he lashes out at us, the people that want to have, the ability to protect ourselves if some corrupt pigs come to our house or whatever. Whatever. I want to be able to protect myself just like a pig can protect himself when they're corrupt and lying, and stealing and cheating like all pigs fucking do. So this says, legislators ban is hypocritical. Oh, look, the cat's coming into the scene, everybody. This says, legislators ban is hypocritical. Let me get my glasses. Your average Florida politician loves to act tough when it comes to guns, like Yosemite Sam with the temperament and wits to match. No, we don't like to act tough with our guns. He says politicians, but let's just say a gun supporting. I don't like to act tough with my guns. Like somebody said, hey man, you're going to walk around with your gun on your hip? No. Most of us that carry guns, that have weapons, we don't need to show them off. It's there for a purpose. It's not there to intimidate people. Okay? So Scott Maxwell, he's intimidated by guns. He should learn about guns and he should understand them better. Like my friend Marshall knew nothing about a gun, took a gun and pointed it right at his own face. This is what's going to happen in Florida when this law gets passed. All of the marshals of Florida, they're going to shoot themselves right in their faces. And we're going to have horrible accidents around here. Maybe for a few weeks, maybe for a few months. Until people start realizing, educate yourself. Just because you have the ability and the right to carry one doesn't mean you know how. It's just like a car. If you don't know how to drive one, you get in it, you're going to kill yourself and other people too. So, nobody's acting tough with a gun. Scott Maxwell is trying to paint us like we're some kind of fucking barbarian because we want a right to be able to protect ourselves against a corrupt government. And cunts like him who support the fucking government. So fuck you, Scott Maxwell. You're a fucking cunt. Okay? Let's just get that right off the bat. I fucking hate you. All right. They, meaning, he's talking about the right-wing politicians.
Zulus. Think about how many bad drivers there are when they are new to it.
Right?
Brop all day. You can conceal and carry in Kai without license. I don't want to open carry. You don't want to make yourself the first target with it on your hip.
Right, exactly. No one needs to know you're carrying it. It doesn't serve anyone to know that you're carrying a gun. So, I personally won't mind seeing other people with guns on their hips, on their backs, walking around open holsters. I don't fucking care. It doesn't bother me. I'm very comfortable around firearms, and I'm very comfortable around the people that know how to use them.
It's of utmost importance that nobody knows your level of resistance. Conceal your weapon. If I or any human sees your weapon, their attitude changes. Right. Don't let them know.
Right. You conceal it. That's the best way to go. I totally agree with that. It just makes sense. They want guns in elementary schools and on college campuses. Yeah, I do. I don't want a girl to get raped. I want her to be able to pull a gun out and shoot a rapist in his fucking fat face and in his dick. I have no problem with this. And they want permitless carry. Yeah, why? Just like I want permitless cannabis use. You're the government that is brutalizing us and murdering us in our homes. They don't get to tell us whether or not we're able to carry a gun or not. Let us decide this for ourselves. We don't need the fucking protection from the government. And you know what? When somebody doesn't know how to use a gun and they pick it up and they kill somebody accidentally, whatever, they can go to court and they can go to fucking prison. That's why we have laws and that's why we have jails. I'm okay with all of this. And they want permitless carry, all because they're supposedly the rootinest, tootinest gun lovers in the world. See, once again, the Yosemite Sam reference, like I'm some kind of gun-toting crazy bastard, right? He's talking about right-wing Republicans, but you know what? Right-wing Republicans are protecting my rights right now on this gun issue. Huh. But do you know where they won't allow guns? In their own meetings. Yeah, it makes sense, Scott. It makes a lot of sense. Too bad you don't get it. It is, in fact, a crime for any Floridian to carry a firearm into any meeting of the legislature or a committee thereof. Yeah, as it should be. What are you crying about? Scott, Maxwell, this is limiting gun carrying, right, to the very crazy people that you're calling a bunch of Yosemite Sam morons, right, in their meetings where they're hanging out, not letting them have guns, and you're crying about it like a little bitch? You don't even make sense, Scott. But I digress. You can be locked up for it, yes, in the free state of Florida. Yeah, you can be locked up if you bring a gun into a political event, as you should be. I totally agree with that. This week, House and Senate Republicans... Can you believe this guy's anti-gun? And he's complaining about this? So funny. This week, House and Senate Republicans performed their latest act of firearms theater by advancing a permitless carry bill along party lines through two committees. They call it constitutional carry, but apparently think those constitutional rights cease to exist when their own safety is involved. Once again, he's trying to say that guns should be in political arenas. And I'm saying, Scott, I'm smarter than you. You're wrong, and I'm right. This is just facts, not opinion. I'm just giving you the facts, and you're giving me stupid opinion that doesn't make sense. Yet, you're the one that gets published on the top of the fucking local state section in the Orlando Sentinel. You're the one. I'm the one that has 16 viewers on social media, and you're the one that has millions of readers on the Orlando Sentinel, all over the state of Florida. This is how media works. The media wants you to hear this narrative. This is what they want you to know. They don't want you to hear this narrative, because this is the narrative that will save your life. This is the narrative that will really protect you. And this is the narrative that doesn't even make sense. It's like, I can't even reason through this. So, but you're the one that gets all the fame, right? And all the publishing. The truth is that these tough-talking politicians are yellow-bellied hypocrites. Oh, really, Scott? Is that the truth? Someone that wants gun rights is a yellow-bellied hypocrite? Huh. I saw somebody who's a gun advocate the other day grab a gun out of somebody's hand and show them how to use it correctly. He didn't strike me as a yellow-bellied hypocrite when he was grabbing that gun out of my friend's hand to save his fucking life. Also, my yellow-bellied hypocritical friend offered to give my friend free gun lessons so he wouldn't blow his own fucking brains out or one of his children's. Because he's such a yellow-bellied hypocrite. Because people that are involved with firearms are all bad people. We're all bad. And we're all yellow-bellied, hypocrites. And we're all scared of our own shadows. God, you're an idiot, Scott. You're an idiot. They bemoan gun-free zones except when their dainty derrieres are involved. Whatever. Guns around students are fine. Yes, they are fine. I mean, you don't have a problem with a police officer pulling over your 16-year-old daughter when she's speeding, do you? He's got a gun on his hip. There's a gun around your teenager. You don't seem to have a problem with that, Scott. 8 years ago, during an attempt to allow guns on college campuses but keep them banned in legislative hearings, I asked the bill sponsor, Greg Stube, why he was scared to let law-abiding Floridians carry firearms around him. He said he wasn't. Stube, now a member of Congress, said he would welcome guns into legislative meetings. Doesn't seem that smart of a legislator to me. I mean, knowing how much people scream in those meetings, knowing how people lose their shit, get angry, a lot of people end up getting arrested from meetings like that for being violent, pushing each other, shoving each other, getting into fist fights. Yeah. I mean, this is just silly. Yeah. But that's not what your bill says, I responded. But I would, he said. But you didn't, Scott said. Well, I can only file so many bills, the guy said. That, my friends, is horse hockey, says Scott. The gun bills filed most every year contain a list of all the places Florida bans firearms, including courthouses, polling places, airports, and legislative meetings. Bill sponsors could easily alter that by simply using a little red strike-through feature on their keyboards to remove the ban on guns in their own meetings, but they don't. Right, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't blame these people one bit. They're smarter than Scott Maxwell is. So, when you turn to read the rest of... This is the part you're going to love. You guys are going to love this, okay? I wouldn't say it unless I really thought you were going to love this. All of you that have been paying attention to this and realize the hypocrisy behind what the guy's been saying that I've been reading, and you realize that I'm the one that's sitting here actually making sense about guns, here comes the vindication right now. When you turn to the page to read the rest of Scott's article, it's at the bottom of this page. It's at the bottom of the page that say, legislators back firearm proposal in big letters across the top of the page. Fuck you, Scott. It passed anyway. And you can cry and you can bitch and piss and moan all you want. You're not allowing them in where the politicians are. You're not allowing them in when you're having political events. Wah. Guess what? Nay gets his way. And look, piddly little Scott Maxwell's article finishes up at the bottom of that page, almost as if the people at the Orlando Sentinel were slapping Scott in his little face.
That's exactly it.
They're like, fuck you, Scott. Right. We're going to finish you up on this page because we don't agree with you. Exactly, even though we pay you to be the counter narrative here, we'll show you. And anytime somebody picks up this piece of paper to read this, they're going to see that at the top. So,
exactly what they did.
They okayed permitless gun carry in the state of Florida. Good. Anything to make a pig's job harder makes me happy. All right, so now this article goes on and on and on with his wishy-washy bullshit and all of his, and he's trying to convince and whatever. I don't really feel the need to read through the rest of it because I think you guys see the style, and he's just trying to shame Republicans and shame gun owners and try to say that we're pussies and that we have fear and that, we should be brave and, let the police protect us and have the guns and we should be brave and just allow, we're going to, if a group of people come to your house to fucking kill you, well, you should just let them kill you. You shouldn't have a gun to protect yourself.
That's Canada for you. Yeah.
Right.
That's the way it is up here. It's ridiculous, man. Yeah. I'm jealous of you guys.
Right. Now, I will read to you my response that I sent the Orlando Sentinel. Scott Maxwell pretends he doesn't seem to remember how heated and out of control any public meeting regarding politics can get. For him to suggest politicians not allowing guns into these places is some kind of a red flag against politicians who support gun rights shows Scott's anti-gun narrative is more important to him than the truth. Scott had to basically sell his soul to the counter narrative to make this even sound enticing. Scott should do better. Guns do not belong near political events, full stop. Sorry, Scott, this wasn't even debatable. And if you guys liked that letter, then thank you. I appreciate it. This is how I feel. I know people are going to die. I know people are going to get killed. I don't want that to happen. But you know what? You have to take some of the loss when you're looking at something good. So let me give you a really good example. We have cars because we look at them as a convenience. We know one of us today, somebody is going to get in one of those things and they're not going to make it home. We know that. But every day, we still decide to go get in our car and drive it around because it's a convenience. I feel the exact same way about guns. I know somebody's going to pick one up today and they're going to shoot themselves, shoot a child, or innocent people with it. But at the same time, I'm going to get in that car and drive it every day because it's a convenience to me. I'm going to have that gun because it's a convenience to me. And when you want to get into the debate over, what's more important, life and liberty and freedom or protection, I will gladly jump into that arena and I will defend my right. But it's always going to come down to this. I don't trust the government. I don't trust pigs. Period. That's what it comes down to. It's not about a criminal coming to my house. It's about a fucking pig or a fucking corrupt government coming to my house. That's why I want guns. I want that Bundy level of protection. Bundy had his guns and the federal government couldn't fucking beat him. He had all of his guns and all of his soldiers, and they stood their ground, and the federal government, oh, you can't beat the federal government. They're going to bring tanks. Oh, yeah, did they bring tanks? Who won that little spat? The Bundys did. Why? Because they have guns. Could they have done that if they didn't have guns? Fuck no. Never. The government would have gone right in there and done whatever the fuck they wanted to do, but they got held up at a fucking overpass. And they had to stop and eventually turn around. So you can't tell me that guns, you can't fight the government with guns because they've got tanks. Don't even fucking tell me that. You can't fight the government, they got bigger weapons than you. Well, maybe they shouldn't. Maybe they shouldn't. Captain fucking America, who happens to be my favorite superhero, but whatever. I'm still going to use it as a cut down. Okay there, Captain America.
We have the right to remain silent, but if we exercise it, you get blasted in your own car or house.
Right? It's a good one, Billy. We have the right. We have the right to die, you know? Right to die. Right to die.
Josh G. Give us tanks too.
Give us tanks too, I know, right? We give tanks for the war. We give tanks for the soldiers. Let us give tanks to the God who doesn't exist. Tanks for everybody! I want a tank. You want a tank. Everybody wants it. Hey, Ukraine had a tank. Guess what they did with it? Yeah, they blew up a fucking church. Way to go, Ukraine. You really showed that church steeple. Way to go, Ukraine.
Wilder. We should have access to all weapons that the U.S. government
I shared that on Twitter, by the way. Oh, by the way, I've been sharing crazy shit on Twitter for like the past 4 or 5 hours. Jiminy knows, but nobody else was real. Oh, and
Billy Valentine.
Heavy Padillo.
You can buy a tank,
too.
but not the shells. No fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you can still run shit over with it, though. Yeah, I can run people.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of running over, dude, I saw a car in one of those tanks, a civilian type tank, armored personnel carrier, run over a whole crowd of Palestinians in a video. I was trying to figure out what it was. I really, it's crazy. There's like 40 people, and the truck just plows into all of them up against a building. And I was like, what the fuck did I just see? Did anybody else see that video on Twitter this morning? Oh, that's right. You guys don't go to Twitter. That's right. Okay.
I didn't see that one.
No big deal. No big deal.
I see so many of those kinds of videos. I didn't see that specific one, though.
This one, you know, what I hate about most of the videos I see on the internet is there's very little context. There's very little information. You don't know what you're looking at. You don't even know if it's really what happened, or is this an actual representation, or is it a digital, you know, all of that. And then, you know, the person puts the video up and doesn't give you where the video came from, so you can't click through it to go learn more about it. Ugh.
Yeah.
So, you know, when they do that, I just ignore it. And yeah, I did see a crowd of supposedly Palestinians getting run over supposedly by an Israeli armored personnel truck, supposedly, but there was no information, there was no context, there was nothing there for me to go on. So I said, you know what, I'm not even going to bother fucking sharing this because you're not giving me enough information. And, you know, I need the info. I need to know where was this? When was this? Why were there 100 people in the street? Where were those trucks going? Why did that truck veer off and run over all those people? You know?
Yep. It's weird they don't give any citation, because you'd think it would give them more credibility, you know? Like a little bit of context. But usually it says like what town and what the date and everything on it.
Famids. Love you.
Thank you, Famids. It's very nice of you to say that. All right, I am ready for the smoking portion of the show. 40 minutes in. Oh, I'm such an addict. I'm such a drug addict. I just couldn't wait to sit down and smoke my cannabis, you know, because if I'm addicted to it, and, you know, if I don't smoke it, man, I'm just going to go crazy, man. I better get it right now, man. I got to get it in me, man. What am I going to do? I can't. 40 minutes. Wait, what time is it? It's 11 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, I haven't smoked at all today, but, you know, it's addicting. Cannabis is so addicting. You know, it's like that girl came in here a couple days ago and she said, well, what about teenagers? They get addicted to it, and then when they say that they can't stop because they're addicted to it. And I say maybe they're treating like legitimate problems, like maybe they have a psychosis and the cannabis helps them. Then when you get them off the cannabis, they start going crazy again. It's got nothing to do with the cannabis hurting them. It has everything to do with the fact that cannabis was curing them while they were using it. Why is that so hard for people to figure out? Why is everything so hard why is it hard for Scott Maxwell to figure out why guns shouldn't be in a legislative session? Why is that so challenging? And why are people so willing to play a fucking narrative and lie to their audience members to try to convince afternoon?
The freaking oracle.
In the before noon, I should say.
I puff every 5 minutes in my show. Does that make me an addict? Haha, only a weekend puffer.
Right? You don't do it during the week? Oh, you're so addicted. How do you make it those 5 long days? Excruciating. Let me tell you, those days are so long and excruciating. I can only wait a total of 5 entire days before I'm right back there addicted to my cannabis. I gotta grab that bong and turn on Trendy Nate Show immediately, or I'm telling you, I'm gonna have some serious psychosis. You're gonna find me over there on Joe Rogan's show talking some more smack. All right, no law regarding cannabis because, you know, I'm so fucking addicted to it. I just couldn't wait to get some in me today. Because it's so addicting. It's so addicting. 11 o'clock. I smoke it 3 times a day. Oh my God, I'm so addicted to it. I need it right now. I gotta have it in me.
By their so-called cures while they suppress our medicine. Patrick John Welder. I smoked because I loved how it made me more interested in doing more things.
Cheers, Jimmy. Cheers, everybody in the chats. No law regarding cannabis. And I want you guys to watch how I smoke this because you're going to laugh.
I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna try it.
And I'm sorry for everybody out there that benefits physically when you do smoke cannabis. I'm not making fun of you. But I'm addicted.
Billy Valentine. Bob Saget, you ever suck dink in a bathroom stall for some cannabis? Go home. Famids. So true Zulus.
If I could make myself drool right now, I would. I am sweating a little bit, though. Sorry, Harsh.
Patrick John Welder. You're in this NA meeting for smoking cannabis? Boo this man.
Yeah.
Harley, you don't have to get up here. Oh, come on, buddy. You have to get up here. Harley's like, I don't like that fan blowing on me. Woo, that was hot. I got hot so fast I've got a sweat right across my brow. Wipe the sweat from my brow. That was great. Woo! That was great. It does take me down a notch or two.
Oh, yeah.
Zulus. Was that the sweat from your withdrawals?
Yeah, right? It was the sweat from my withdrawals. Oh, my goodness. Okay, so we can get rid of this. Mitch McConnell was saying, making sure to tell the world, don't worry, everybody, it's not all Republicans that want to end the war in Ukraine. They're spending way too much time on all the other Republicans that are anti-war. But trust me, plenty of us Republicans want to extend this war for as long as possible. Kroger removed Snoop Dogg's Cali Red wine. Why? An in-store display of Snoop Dogg's Cali Red wine was removed from Kroger supermarket after several customers allegedly complained that it was inappropriate. Stereotypical Cali Red wine during Black History Month. Oh my God! Really? Oh my God! Oh, that's not woke, dude. That's a joke. Are you kidding me? A black man cannot sell you or represent a company that's selling alcohol during Black History Month. We've pushed it. We pushed it so far, we pushed it right over the edge, and then we threw a can of gasoline on top of it and then threw a lit match after that. That's what we just did to Black History Month. Are you kidding me? This is hilarious. Oh my God. And they removed it. I'm calling Kroger, dude. I'm saying bring back Snoop. Dude, bring back Snoop. Are you kidding me? At Kroger.
I don't understand how displaying a successful businessman, black businessman's product during Black History Month would be racist. That doesn't make any sense to me. He's like one of the most successful African Americans. Like, he's got his hand in everything.
You know, during Black History Month, having a man sell whatever, I mean, he's African American, that's like a good thing. He's a representative of a corporation selling stuff. In fact, it's probably his corporation. I wouldn't be surprised if it's his freaking line, right?
It is, yeah. He owns it all. I know.
How is hurting Snoop's sales supporting Black History Month? Exactly. Dude, it's like I could literally, I need a writer. I need a writer for this show, because if I had a writer, they could go through these all of the news and just put it out for me and say, dude, look what Kroger's doing. Dude, look what's going on with China and Zelensky. Look at this, look at that. I don't have time to go through all this.
Patrick John
and the
Waldo.
reason I say that is because there's so much hypocrisy going on. I can't keep up with it all. And I don't have the time. I can't believe this. I am like, God, I mean, so let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Taking money from Snoop is supporting Black History Month? Snoop, comma, an African American man.
And he's an example of success. So,
fucking, it's like they don't have a fucking shake in my head.
He's like the perfect example of coming from like not having anything and all that whatever, and then making something of yourself. So I don't understand why that would be a bad. That's really weird to me.
I'm gonna put Rome in there too. You'd probably be interested to see that. I don't even want to read the article. I'm not interested. I don't care. I'll save the article, but I'm not going to read it. I am so, when I get this disgusted about stuff, I can't even process it. I'm turning the news off completely. I'm going to leave Twitter up if anybody wants to respond to me over there.
They're trying to book, but they screwed up.
There's a Ukrainian that's reporting on what Ukraine is doing to the ethnic Russians in Donbass, and they've put out a $10,000 reward to have him killed. Ukraine. Nice, huh?
What?
Yeah, I said
That
Dead
guy?
Man Walking, bro. It's on my
When did? Oh, what?
it's on my Twitter sphere. Check my Twitter, man. It says Dead Man Walking. Hear his words before Biden has him killed. Here, we'll put it up. I'll put it up right here, guys.
Комфортнее работать.
I knew that, but I didn't know that he actually put money on his head. I didn't know that.
$10,000.
Didn't know that. Wow.
And I bet you CIA is going to help find him. You know.
Yeah.
По большей мере одиночка.
Yeah, they play with that right now.
Мне комфортнее. И из-за моих
So this is so sad. Before we get into this, I'm gonna tell you what this is. He's going around in neighborhoods that Ukraine is bombing. Okay, Ukraine is doing all of this damage to these buildings, bombing these people out of their homes in the Donbass region. And he goes up to a woman
Сейчас, когда немного
and he says, "What's your name?" She says, "My name's Vera." He says, "What have they done?" And she's like, "In 1 second, my whole house exploded." And she says to him, "Would you like to get it on video and show everybody?
Famids.
Please come into my home."
No weapon
This is
Brandon
her.
forms against him shall prosper.
No weapon Brandon forms against him shall prosper. Huh? Look, I'm going to go full screen with this. I don't understand what you're trying to say there, Famids. I'm sorry. Here, I want to go full screen with this just so you can see what they did to her. And read what she says.
Извините, как вас зовут?
Вера.
Вера, сильно квартиру вам побила?
Ну, пойдите посмотрите, вот, снимите. Снимите.
Можно?
Да, вообще нельзя.
She says, "Why not? She's cool, bro. This woman's so cool. Come look what they did to my home. Come see what Zelensky did to my house with his fucking shelling."
Вот здесь вот всюду выбито все, вот посуда вся побитая. Вот была посуда, вот все разбито.
Это все вот когда в один вечер тогда.
Да, это все в один миг. В один миг это все было.
All of her windows got blown out.
Я не знаю, как мы живые остались.
She says she'd be better off dead. It makes me want to cry.
I know.
Ну,
See
что
the way
вы
she
делаете?
talks, though? She's not.
Не знаю, что это. Тут на пробитие, смотрите, везде пленка закрыта, а чтобы все три окна разбиты. Как вот зима идет.
Разбит дом, все, что делать? Но приехали журналисты, рассказали об этом на всю Россию, рассказали об этом на весь Донбасс. Да, это не изменит ситуацию.
I've been telling you guys about the Donbass for over a year.
Материальной. Но
I was telling you about Donbass when I lived in California, I
они
remember.
брошены, что на их проблемы не все равно, что люди сопереживают.
So,
Yeah, no, it's that sucks, man.
that's what started the war. Zelensky wanted to shell those people in his own country because they were Russian. You can literally, there are videos of people, if you go and you just type in Donbass and search it, it'll come up, it's trending today. And you can go through and see what people are saying about how the Ukrainians were bragging. Zelensky in 2019 was bragging about how they're going to go into Donbass and kill all the Russians in there. Zelensky's on tape saying it. And it's on video. And I watched it this morning. And I'm telling you, man, you want to know what started that war? It wasn't Putin, man. I hope he fucking finishes it. You know, I support him. Fuck you. I'm so sick of this bullshit. I'm so sick of this kid was telling, you know, in Australia, he was at a TV show, a televised political event, and he got to speak. And the kid said, "Hey man, I've got relatives that live in Donbass." He says, "I'm Russian, and I've got Russian relatives in Donbass. They've been getting murdered." He says 14,000 dead over there. And the guy that was running the show said, I'll get to your question in a moment. After a few minutes, he responds and says, "You know, I've been thinking about your question. I want you out of here." And the reason he gives is because the kid isn't thinking about the lives of the poor Ukrainians that Putin is fucking shelling. But that guy didn't want to consider the 14,000 Russians that Zelensky was shelling. People like that woman Vera. So, I want you, if I can find this video, I don't know if I tweeted it.
Yeah, you did. I retweeted it. Yeah, I watched it this morning.
Okay. The kid in Australia. Good.
I usually do most of my Twitter in the morning.
Okay, here it is. Good. Here's the video, guys. This is...
Так може бути тому, що Донбас взагалі...
that's the wrong one. That's the wrong video. Next one. Here's the right video. I did 2 of these. And you guys really should consider following at Nays Garden on Twitter, man. So you're up on all this and you can support the message, you know. Consider it at least. You should consider getting on Twitter and being there while, I try to get a narrative out there that is the truth for a change. And if you support the truth, then come on over to Twitter. I guess if you don't come over to Twitter, you don't support the truth.
So,
you know?
as someone who comes from the
I don't know
Russian community
I don't know
here
what
in
else
Australia, I've been
to say
pretty
to you.
outraged by the narrative created by our media depicting the Ukraine as the good guy and Russia as
Or maybe you just don't
Believe
like
it or
me.
not, there
It's
are
weird.
a lot of
You
Russians
like
here
me
and around the
enough
world.
to spend 3 hours a day with me watching my show, but you don't like me enough to come over and support my thoughts on Twitter. And why is that? Can anybody answer why? You know, all the excuses I ever get are stupid excuses. Oh, I'm locked out of my account. Oh, really? Make a new email and go get a new account. Oh, I don't like Twitter. Well, you don't have to like Twitter. You could like me and come over there and hang out with me on Twitter. Just make it all about me if you want. Just like when you're on my show. I don't know how to use it. Well, it's just like every other fucking social media account that you've ever used. You log into it and you go and you start using it. You start typing stuff and you read what other people are saying. You follow people, they follow you back. It's really simple. The excuses I
Billy
get from people.
Valentine.
Dog ate my homework.
Dog ate my homework.
That's a good one. Anyway, let's go back. I really want to spend some attention on what this kid says because he did not deserve to be treated this way for just asking a question based on truth. He's lost some friends and some family. He's got family over in Donbass. He's concerned about it. He doesn't say anything hypercritical of the government.
So, as someone who comes from the Russian community here in Australia, I've been pretty outraged by the narrative created by our media depicting the Ukraine as the good guy and Russia as the bad guy. Believe it or not, there are a lot of Russians here and around the world that support what Putin is doing in the Ukraine, myself included. Since 2014, the Ukrainian government, together with Nazi groups like the Azov Battalion, have besieged the Russian populations in the Donbass, killing an estimated 13,000 people, according to the United Nations.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
Could I finish?
Just quickly finish, and then we'll come to that and put that to the panel.
So my question is, where was your outpouring of grief and concern for those thousands of mostly Russians?
Okay, question earlier about Russia.
Where was your outpouring of grief and concern for the 13,000 Russians who were getting shelled by Zelensky? Huh?
Yeah.
Right? It's a legitimate question. Now watch the answer.
Russia, and it's been playing on my mind. And
Sasha, on my mind.
People here have been talking about family who are suffering and people are dying. And I understand you wanted to ask your question.
Dude, you didn't acknowledge that he had people who were dying and suffering on the other side of that. Now you just call it a question. You just reduced all of the bodies that have piled up from the Donbass shelling since 2014 to a question. And you've disregarded all the people that he was referring to. Now, you wanted to talk about all the suffering in the Ukraine right now. And then as soon as you got done talking about them, then it just became a question. There were no more people to relate to what the fuck you were talking about. Interesting, huh?
About, is there some reasoning for this? But you supported what's happening, hearing that people are dying, and can I just say I'm just not comfortable with you being here? Could you please leave?
I'm not comfortable with you being here. And the audience starts to applaud.
Yeah, I know.
So,
that's the worst part.
He's a cunt, and that audience that applauded, every single one of them that put their hands together, they're cunts too.
Thanks. That's exactly what I was thinking this morning when I watched it, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
They applaud. Why? Because you don't have an answer for him. So he makes you uncomfortable. So you want him to leave because he asked a legitimate. Those bodies piled up. You can count them. He said it was the UN numbers that said, what did he say? 14,000 bodies?
13,000.
Yeah, 30. He said 13,000 counted by the UN. And you say those people weren't suffering? Those people weren't suffering? You motherfucker. You fucking piece of shit. This is why people like him can't figure out why Vladimir Putin went in there in the first place, because he won't accept the premise of the fucking question to begin with.
I've been. It's really no, Sasha. I'm sorry. You can ask a question. You can ask a question.
He did.
We cannot advocate violence. I should have asked you.
He didn't advocate violence.
It's been playing on my mind.
He did not. He didn't advocate violence. He asked where your sympathies were for dead people. He didn't advocate violence. You don't get to misrepresent what he said. You're a fucking liar of reality. We can rewind the video and watch everything he said all over again, but we don't have to because we know what he said. Everybody here knows what that kid said. He asked a legitimate question. And this guy's trying to misrepresent what the kid said. He's saying he's being violent for asking where your sympathies are for the people of the Donbass? Fuck you.
And I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to leave, please.
Okay, well, could I?
No, please.
Please,
Just out of respect.
You make my dick feel 1 centimeter. Please leave.
Please, we're not having
You've emasculated me.
We can't have people
I'll never be able to insert my penis into another vagina
I
again.
should have asked you to leave. It's been playing on my mind. I wanted to have a proper conversation about these things.
You've been emasculated, dude.
I'm really sorry.
Bro, this is what an emasculated this is what an emasculated, destroyed shell of a crust of a fucking not even a human being looks like, guys. Right here. Look at this guy.
No, Sasha, I'm sorry.
Look at him and laugh.
You can ask a question, but we cannot advocate violence. I should have asked you to leave then. It's been playing on my mind, and I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to leave, please.
Okay, well, could I?
No, please. Just out of respect. Please, we're not having the conversation, Sasha. We can't have people advocating violence. And I should have asked you to leave. It's been playing on my mind. I wanted to have a proper conversation about these things, but I have to ask you to leave. I'm really sorry.
It was so weird that he exactly, almost word for word, did you notice that? Repeated everything he said twice. Did you guys notice that? So he said it had been playing on his mind. He was literally sitting there going over that response in his head, wording it, putting it all together. This is how I'm going to respond. You know why? Because he couldn't just naturally respond. He had to come up with something that he formulated. And he had no response for that kid. So he came up with that, and then you could tell that he came up with that because he said it twice, word for word. I mean, I thought the video skipped. Did you guys notice that? It seemed like the video skipped. Pay attention to it one more time. I know it's a little, you got to trudge through it a little, but bear with me and just listen to him repeat himself.
I'm comfortable with you being here. Could you please leave? I've been. It's really no, Sasha. I'm sorry. You can ask a question. But we cannot advocate violence. I should have asked you to leave then. It's been playing on my mind. And I'm sorry, but I have to ask you to leave, please.
Okay, well, could I?
No, please.
Okay, now he's going to say it all over again.
Just out of respect.
I've never seen that before.
Watch this. Watch this. He's going to say the whole thing over again.
Please, we're not having the
I thought you
conversation,
rewind
Sasha.
it for a second.
We can't have people
advocating violence. And I should have asked you to leave. It's been playing on my mind. I wanted to have a proper conversation about these things, but I have to ask you to leave. I'm really sorry. Dude,
okay.
like
I'm sorry for
freaking
that.
word for
these
word.
things happen.
And it was like he was telling himself, I have to be polite. I have to just say it nicely, blah, 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 so I don't come off looking like an asshole. But there is no way that you could have responded to him in that way, asking him to leave, and not sounded like an asshole. And he tried so hard that he said it twice. And you know, he probably reasons with himself that it worked because the cunts in the audience applauded. How dare they? You're there for an open discussion at town hall, and you fucking cunts in the audience are going to applaud silencing somebody? Wow. I've lost a lot of respect, whoever those fucking dumb cunts were, and I'm just assuming it's the fucking crazy liberal fucking left Democrat cunts that support the Biden administration from Australia, which blows my mind, but there they are. Let's go to war. Let's keep the war going that we started, and that it's all out there, all the information is there, and all numbnuts like him have to do is accept it. We're telling it to you. This is what happened. That's history. Accept it. You don't want to accept it, go watch the videos of them burning people out of their homes and shelling people out of their homes, and go count the bodies yourself if you don't believe it. I don't understand why telling somebody the truth about something has gotten so complicated. I don't care if it's about, the fact that they murdered unnecessarily a bunch of ethnic Russians in Donbass, or I'm telling you that cannabis doesn't fucking cause cancer. It doesn't matter. I don't understand why it's so hard, man. I don't understand why I have to keep repeating myself. No offense to you, Oracle, just for that reference. I'm sorry. I'm not mad at you over that. But I'm just using that as an example to say, when things are obvious and the information is there, you really should go educate yourselves on this shit. Because you're trusting illegitimate sources that are trying to convince you for a reason, whatever their narrative is, they want you to believe what they're convincing you of for whatever the fucking reasons are. And you have to realize that. Where are you getting this information from? The government? The government that, Putin started, it's Putin's war on Ukraine. Putin's war on Ukraine. It's Putin's war. Oh, Putin's evil. Putin's war on Ukraine. And you hear this over and over and over and over and over and over, and then you start fucking repeating that shit. Don't be Caitlin Collins, man. Don't be a dumb cunt that team plays for fucking CNN. The C is for cunts. Cunts, not news. That's what CNN stands for. Wow. How have I never figured that one out before?
I like it. Oh, shit.
I don't know how I got to CNN, but whatever. Oh, Caitlin Collins with the narrative. Okay, I got it. Yeah, the narrative. The whole narrative thing. Because CNN is playing that narrative. We need to go to war. Wolf Blitzer. We need to go to war. Every guest they have. We need to go to war. We need to keep the war. We need to keep going to war. China wants peace. No, we're not going to talk about that. We need to go to war. We need war, 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 more war, more weapons, more money, more billions, money, 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 money. Hey, Biden went there. Oh, great. Let's keep sending money and money, money, money. Guess what? Ukraine pulled a false flag on us, and it went completely unnoticed. But CNN called it out and didn't even realize they were doing it. Are you ready for this one? When Biden was in Ukraine giving his speech, there was a gentleman from CNN. He had been there for 5 days. He had been in that city, right where Biden was going to be speaking. He was there for 5 days, reporting on what was going on there. And then Biden came in, and for the half hour that Biden was there, all of a sudden, there was a single air raid siren that rang out for all of mainstream media to catch on their videotapes while Biden was walking out of the building. Oh, there's an air raid siren in Kyiv. Well, guess what? The CNN reporter says, it's funny, I've been here for 5 days. Hasn't been a single air raid siren. The half hour that Biden was here, all of a sudden there was an air raid siren. And you know what? Since he left, no more air raid sirens. That's a fucking false flag, guys. That's somebody trying to fuck with you for their narrative. Oh, it's a war zone. Putin's war on Ukraine. Putin's war on Kyiv. Putin's trying to assassinate Biden. There's an air raid siren playing in the background. I wonder if Zelensky was the one that got on the phone and said, hey, turn an air raid siren on. When we're walking out of the fucking building. Who did that?
Easy. It wouldn't have been hard to do. Just go turn it on.
But they didn't think that, there's been a reporter there for 5 days that's going to out you. Unknowingly out you. And when he did it, he was like, he seemed a little, he was like, that's kind of strange. Wow, what am I working for a bunch of cunts, not news? What am I working at a station that has the lowest ratings they've had in 9 years? What am I working for people who have a narrative that are pushing war? Why am I even here? Why am I in Ukraine? Why am I supporting these people here? They murdered 14,000 people in the Donbass region. Why am I here? What am I doing? You know, these people are getting exactly what they fucking brought on themselves. They didn't like the Russians. They were very vocal about it, and they elected Zelensky because he didn't like them either. Listen to him speak about what he's going to do to the people in the Donbass region. How that region is full of resources, and they don't want the Russians in there because they want the resources of the Donbass region. Zelensky, 2019. I saw it on Twitter this morning in a video. I didn't share that one because, once again, I don't speak Ukrainese. So, you know, no law regarding cannabis. I hear Jim is smoking without me because he couldn't wait. Whatever. Cheers, everybody. Crap. Cheers, Patrick. Cheers.
Cheers.
Patrick John Welder. Since your first hit, you haven't been shaking and itching.
It's funny. No, but I've been sweating. Jim's like, I can't take trendy ass dabbers without constant cannabis going into my bloodstream.
Yeah, well, it took a little bit of adjustment, but I'm good. I'd have overdid a tad back then.
Man, as long as you got the cannabis to smoke all day, bro, I'm all for it. If you can do it. More power to
you.
you.
Hell yeah.
What else is going on?
That's what makes me having medical cannabis in Canada. And the doctor can prescribe it. I have like 3 grams a day, so just like you would pills.
Oh my god, dude, it's already started. Vanderbilt University issues an apology after staff used an AI bot to address a recent mass shooting. Wow. Dude, you know, this is the problem, Cyber. I know you're not here right now. I wish you were. This is the problem. The AI might be smart as fuck. People are stupid. They're going to abuse this recklessly. This is not a good thing. And you know what? There's nothing we can do to stop it. Nothing we can do to stop it. This is going to consume us and eventually kill us. All of us. We're dead. All of us. We're dead men walking. Every single one of us. And we don't even realize it. And I can see it like a fucking freight train with the goddamn wheels on fire going down tracks headed to fucking the center of fucking Ohio. Like I'm sitting there at the railroad crossing watching this train go by with the wheels on fire. And I'm like, that doesn't seem right. You know, I'm looking at a university using AI to write a letter to students to console them over a mass shooting, and I'm thinking, that doesn't seem right. How about y'all in the chat? Does that seem okay? To console someone, we used a robot to write the fucking consolation letter? There. Sorry, students. You went under a stressful situation. Here, have this medication to calm your nerves. They literally did that shit. Just like the fucking movies where they did that to Matt Damon. Here, have some of these pills.
Brop all day. Not at all. What idiots.
Wow, dude.
Stephen running. No.
Yes.
Josh G. Fuck no. How insensitive. Billy Valentine. I've been dead for years anyway.
I'm all like, Mom! I want to go tell my mom so bad. I'm going to go tell my mom, dude. Seriously. Harley, look out, buddy. Mom. Mom. Man, I tell you, man, my mom is shocked right now, you know, so am I. But at the same time, we knew this was coming. We knew this was coming. It ain't gonna stop. Bro, we are already in exponential speed with this. And it's, bro, the snowball is rolling down the mountain way faster than I imagined. I mean, I said it was gonna happen, but I didn't see this coming. Oh my God. I'm sitting on the tracks, like I said, and I'm watching the train go by me, and I'm like, the wheels are on fire, man. And there's nothing I can do. There's no one to tell. Bro, I don't care if there were 1 million people watching my live show right now. It wouldn't matter. This could be the Joe Rogan show, and I could be Joe Rogan. It still wouldn't matter. Even if Joe gave a fuck about this, which he doesn't, because all he wants to do is have a robot jerk him off. Fuck you, Joe Rogan. You're an idiot. You're fucking no good. You're worthless to humanity. Fuck you. You fucking cuck bitch.
I've always hated that.
I'm going to get so jacked I'm going to be able to take that motherfucker on. That's my thing. I'm going to be like this. I'm going to run into Joe Rogan. I'm going to be like, I fucking hate you, man. He's going to be like, whoa, dude. I'm gonna be lifting fucking Volkswagens like this, just like a Joe Rogan. I'm gonna find you, motherfucker. I'm gonna find you, motherfucker. Ugh. You and Madonna have ruined us. You've ruined the whole fucking world. You know, and Jimmy Dores and fucking goddamn Donald Trumps. There's so many.
Billy Valentine.
So, the Charlie Kirks and the Ben
LOL, I managed to get Rogan's attention.
And the fucking Candace
I was laughing
Owenses
my ass off.
And the fucking goddamn...
Mids.
What's the goddamn vice president?
Tag team
Kamala
him
Harris's
with
and the
Sam
Joe
Hyde.
Bidens.
Yeah.
And the fucking mainstream medias and the fucking CNNs and the Fox fucking cunt news motherfuckers. And the Democrats and the fucking Republicans. And the fucking Bernie Sanders backstabbing fucking independent cunt motherfuckers. All of them, dude. And there's nothing anyone can do to stop any of it. None of us. I don't care how powerful you are. Dude, the President of the United States, if he actually gave a clue, can't stop this. We're done. Oh, the Vanderbilt University issues an apology, everybody. They issued an apology. Oh, that'll never happen again. Great. We've solved AI with an apology letter. That'll fix it. Look, it's not that I'm outraged.
Billy Valentine.
It's not that I'm outraged.
Joe Rogan's biggest flex this week, and most weeks, is he can cook meat. Ha 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 ha, dumb.
It's not that I'm outraged that this college did this. I mean, I expected them to do this. I expect people to be lazy, okay? I'm outraged that we were warned years ago, before this technology existed, that this is what was going to happen. And my neighbor and other people that I know are in this industry feeding the fucking monster, man. Feeding that fucking monster, man. Working at robotics, working at fucking AI, working at fucking coding. They're all just, that's all they know how to do. You know, hey man, go get a fucking blister on your thumb, motherfuckers. Alright, go get a fucking blister on your thumb and stop fucking on those goddamn keyboards. You're fucking killing us all. Every single one. I want to pull the fucking plug, bro. You know, I want to Stuxnet this bitch. That's the only thing that's going to stop us. We need a fucking virus to shut down the whole internet. That's what we need. And we need it now. We're so fucked. This has gone so wrong, so fast. I didn't even imagine this when I started this show. And then, boom, tweet from who? From Corn Pop. Puts up a fucking tweet. You know, he's got 5,783 followers. You know, he's changing the world just like me. He follows me. Thank you, Corn Pop. His tweet has 10 likes, 1 quote tweet, and 2 retweets. He's got over 5,000 followers on Twitter. Ask yourselves why this only has 271 views. He's got 5,000 followers. You know, people are on Twitter all day. Why would only his followers get to see this tweet? So this is what I'm going to do. Look, we ain't changing anything. We're just going to be able to stand here and point the finger at everybody else and say, haha, we were right. We ain't going to change it. But if you want to be standing there with me, arm in arm, on that day, that we stand there and we go, we fucking told you so, we fucking told you so. If you want to just be those guys, because that's me. And you want to be there with me, I'm going to do this for you right now. I'm just going to tweet. This is the tweet. And I'm going to pin it to @NaysGarden. Okay? Now, I don't recommend that you retweet my tweet, but you can while you're there. It's easy. You just click, you know, retweet, whatever. I recommend you retweet Corn Pop's tweet. So I've pinned a tweet to my Twitter profile, and you're more than welcome to retweet me. You know, I'd love it if you would. Retweet me and like the thing and leave a comment as well, and then start retweeting it to a whole bunch of other people too and start a whole thing. That would be great. But, you know, just retweet if you don't want to support me on Twitter. Go to Corn Pop's tweet. Okay, just all you got to do is click on it. It'll bring his tweet. In fact, I'm going to give you a link to Corn Pop's tweet, which goes around my tweet. There's Corn Pop's tweet, right? It says Fishcack 184330002. That's him. Okay, that's the dude. He's got 5. Go follow him too, and tell him that I told you to follow him. Go follow him on Twitter too. And you know what? Share his tweet around. Like it. Leave a message on it. It's very important that people see that. Not because we're going to change it, because we're not. I'm smart enough to know we ain't stopping. There's no legislation. There's no ruler. There's the only thing that will stop this is anonymous. You know, a fucking hacker group that sees this for what it is. They're going to look at it and be like, wow, that crazy dude that lives in his mom's house, that Nay dude, he's right. And you know what? What do you think about that? Write up a little virus, shut it all down. I don't see that happening. That's a movie. That's a great movie. Producers, I'm looking at you. That's a great movie. But it's a sad movie.
Good.
It's a sad movie because it's fiction. And the reality is skulls will be crushed under metallic wheels, just like the beginning of Terminator. I mean, that is it. I mean, it is. I am not hyperbolic at all. I'm seeing it happen. We are surrendering ourselves to this shit. To the one person at Vanderbilt University in Tennessee that was sitting there and said, I need a consolation letter. I think I'll just use ChatGPT because I know I can do it. To that one person that thought that was okay, I say this. You were the linchpin in humanity. It was you. It was all on your shoulders, and you chose to do what you did. But it's too late because you can't undo history. It's not like Terminator where they're like, the only thing we can do is go back in time to try to fix this. That's the big problem. Is the part where in Terminator where technology takes over and destroys humanity. That part's real. But the part where the superhero goes back in time and changes it all so it's all beautiful again. So this is what you got to ask yourselves. Didn't all of these people that are in robotics, that are in the military, that are in computers, programming, coding, weaponry, all that shit, didn't they see the same movies that we saw? Didn't they see Terminator, man? And when they saw it, were they paying attention? Maybe they missed the first few minutes of the movie or something, or I don't know. I want that scene, the opening scene of Terminator. What is this? What is this trending now? Get this off my fucking page. Get this off my fucking page. What is this? Some re-engineers changing shit.
I love that scene, man. I used to watch that over and over again when I was a kid. I just thought it was the coolest looking scene. I wanted the whole movie to look like that.
Yeah, right?
When I was a kid. I was like, why can't they make the whole movie like these things run around and lasers and shit? Fucking.
I need this. 2029. That's what I need right there, bro. I need that when that thing rolls over. You see their skulls right there.
Another 6 years, yeah. I love this. This is so cool.
There it is right there. Right here.
I'm lagged on the video.
Right there. That's us. That's me, bro. Boom. Let's see if I can capture it. I mean, I guess it's okay. I guess it's okay with the play stuff at the bottom, but if I just, 59, 58.
Where is it?
57. If I go from here, the red line will go away. Oh, I missed it. Fuck. Dude, I had it right when the lightning hits. Right there. Okay, I'm just going to screenshot that. Dude, that's me right there. That is me right there. I'm telling you, bro. I've talked about this so much. I can't believe it's taken me this long to do this.
Oh, you know what? I remember the opening scene from Terminator 2, and it's the robot that crushes the skull. The robot foot comes down and crushes. That's
right. That too. Okay, but this is me. It's the tank, the freaking tank treads, bro.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. That was cool too, yeah. Oh man, I miss those movies.
Now, wait, it didn't work right. Something's wrong. Hold on. That's weird. Print screen, for whatever reason. That's weird. What just happened is really weird. There it is. Okay, there it is.
Watch that too.
God damn it.
I'm gonna watch Terminator.
There we go. Okay. There. I got it now. There it is. Save as. Okay. Call it. Okay. Great. Bruh.
Billy Ballantyne. My favorite Ukraine news this week was from The Onion. Taiwan sending aid to Ukraine by way of 5,100-foot tall fighting robots.
Looking at you. I want that as my background.
Those are fake skulls.
Yeah, right? You think? It's funny, they're not even, the eye socket's not even shaped correctly on that one.
Terminator 2 skull is better. I just watched the scene. I was like, oh man. I watched this movie. I watched both of them. Fuck the other ones though.
Billy Ballantyne. They're all crap plaster pull molds.
I knew Billy was gonna have a problem with the skulls.
And that's okay though.
I knew he was.
That's okay. That's his
Billy
freaking
Ballantyne.
profession, man.
I know it is.
Slurry
I know
molded
it is,
skulls.
He would have fucking provided better skulls for that scene.
He would have done. Yeah, those skulls would have looked real if Billy done. They're,
But that being said,
yeah.
this sums up where we're going, and we're going there so fast now. And I didn't realize that people were so eager to end up like that. And it's just because they don't see this. And this is what people need to see. This scene right here. See that? You see the wheel, you see the tread. Doesn't that look familiar? We've already got that. We've got those dogs. We've got those robot dogs, man. How do you think they're going to get it? They got legs. They got these things. They're going to run us over and kill us. We are so ignorant to think that this is not going to happen. It doesn't have to be about, AI becoming sentient and fucking realizing how to do this. It's not about that at all. It's about some fucking idiot that programs in the shit like that moron fucking put in so that that software would realize what War Games has to do with the game Tic-Tac-Toe. It's that. You have to protect yourself. Humanity is a virus. What the fuck do you think's gonna happen? So, pretend all you want. What year did they say this was?
2020 on the movie? 2029.
2029? Are you that good, bro?
I remember the scene. I remember the date flashing up in the scene. I think it said 2029.
Los Angeles, 2029.
Billy Ballantyne.
You're right.
I can't read it.
There's war frontline coverage every day, but it's on crazyblank.com and it's a horrible site to visit. Carnage.
I'm weird with numbers.
Do you want me to make that my new background on my fucking monitors? Yes. Yes.
Famids.
Thanks.
Thanks for providing some good snow day content while fiance and I are stuck at home.
Okay, I have to eat lunch. My mom says someone's ready with hamburgers. Where does it say set as wallpaper? There it is. Centered. Fill. My new wallpaper. Dude, my new wallpaper is the best wallpaper of all wallpaper ever. Of all the wallpaper ever made. My wallpaper is the best wallpaper. Look at all of it. Look at that. Look at that one. Seems pretty hyperbolic. You know, I'm just saying, what's going on in Ohio, I know it's bad, but and if you're on top of those chemicals, I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to have some kind of effect on you, like a rash or things like that. But it just, for people to act like it's worse off than it is, it's not helping anything. Oh, God. It's like, yeah, they're finally reporting on one of these spills where people get hurt, you know, and it happens all the time, I bet. You hear about chemical spills happening all the time in this country. They have 1,000 train derailments every year. How many of those involve chemicals, and how many of those chemicals get exposed to humans, and how many of those humans get, you know, sick or killed? Even the people involved in the cleanup, you know. Uh-oh. Here we go, guys. Dude, I can't stop the news from coming in. This is literally coming in on my phone right now.
What?
How our entire internet encryption can be compromised. Rob Braxman. Here we go. Dude, it's funny how I talk about something and then it just builds and builds and builds.
The non-techie person relies on the magic words of someone in authority that says certain things can be trusted because that person says so. In this world, though, we've figured out that just because someone says so doesn't mean it is true. Whether the person of authority is Tim Cook of Apple or the head of the CDC or the director of a three-letter agency, you need to understand clearly what is being said, or you can be duped. What I will talk about is that the pinnacle of trust in our internet lives may not always be trusted. I will discuss the encryption used in web browsers and internet communications in general. It used to be called SSL, or Secure Sockets Layer, and was integrated into your browsers as the HTTPS protocol. That's why you type in that HTTPS when you access a website. This is now called TLS, or Transport Security Layer. This whole encryption scheme is based on digital certificates, and you will hear reference
All right, I gotta go eat.
certificates having
I gotta go eat lunch, guys.
keys.
Listen,
this is the
I'm gonna give you a direct link to Rob Braxman's channel, Rob Braxman Tech on YouTube. Okay, here's a direct link. Please feel free to go to his channel and watch this. It's 21 minutes long. What I'll do is I'm going to turn it on for you right now. I'm going to go eat. I'm just going to leave this on and run for you because it's 21 minutes. I'll be back. You guys enjoy this. I'll make it full screen, and I'll see you guys when I'm done eating. Enjoy this. Try not to talk too much over it, but, you know, Jim's here.
Stephen running.
Oh,
so you can talk to Jim.
Thanks.
Of encryption.
You're welcome.
Like most of what we do today in our everyday internet lives. But did you know that this encryption scheme can be cracked? Sometimes it is done intentionally if you're the owner of the device. Sometimes it is done by employers and governments. And sometimes it is done by hackers. There's a lot of past drama in the story as well, and caused the collapse of one of the biggest tech companies. It is also important for you if you want to know if you really have security and privacy at any given moment. Is this interesting enough for you to learn about? If you're interested, stay right there. The world of encryption can be complicated. I can pretty much guarantee that even techies who install TLS certificates on their websites may not truly understand how this whole TLS encryption scheme works. It's even more confusing when it used to be called SSL certificate, since Netscape invented it 20 plus years ago, and now it is called TLS. But I think most people have heard of some sort of certificates being used on websites to ensure that it can support HTTPS. The premise being that once you connect to a website with HTTPS, then your session is supposedly fully encrypted. This protection is provided by these TLS certificates. TLS certificates contain the encryption keys that are used to encrypt the traffic. There's two parts to it. There's a public key portion, and then there's the private key portion that is not supposed to be distributed outside of the owner's control. This idea of encryption using a combination of public and private keys is technically called asymmetric encryption. This is where two parties negotiate an encryption key without knowing the encryption key in advance. Another method of encryption is called symmetric encryption. This is when two parties to the conversation have the same key, and thus no negotiations are necessary. The idea of negotiating encryption without knowing a key in advance is, of course, a mainstay of internet use because random devices are talking to each other. So TLS is what allows the internet to be robust and mostly encrypted. But these TLS certificates have a flaw, and the flaw is that a TLS certificate is based on trust. And if someone lies to us and abuses that trust, we lose. I will tell you an interesting story that shows how this trust was destroyed by a company that wanted to profit from surveillance, which in turn caused that particular company to implode. Then I will talk about how this same technique is used by others today to intercept and observe your encrypted internet traffic, and what it could potentially mean for us. Before I do that, let me give you a brief explanation of how TLS encryption works. The original idea for TLS is that there are two certificates, a public certificate and a private certificate. The public certificate is used to encrypt the content. The private certificate is used to decrypt the content. So if you went to an online store and entered your credit card information, the public key will be used to encrypt your traffic, but only the party that has the private key can decrypt. That's a very simplified explanation. In reality, the key exchange results in an exchange of a symmetric key so that the two parties can talk to each other, encrypted on both sides. But That just complicates it. Secondarily, the public key will have some sort of identification of the owner of the certificate. This is to make sure that the owner of the domain is authentic. So google.com has to have been validated to actually be owned by Google. This validation is done when the certificate is issued. You can issue self-signed certificates which skip this validating step and is used for encryption between private parties, but this would not be accepted by popular browsers. Browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Edge, and so on will always check that the certificate is valid. This is done by seeing if there's a chain of trusted certificates which validate the current certificate. The top level is made up of root certificates issued by a root certificate authority, and then each player that distributes certificates can subordinate that trust to other organizations lower in the chain. Each authorized player that issues a certificate is called a certificate authority. Depending on the level, some are called subordinate certificate authorities, and some are called intermediate certificate authorities. This organizational requirement ensures that only authorized and trusted parties can issue a certificate. This is important because in theory, someone in China cannot just create a domain google.com because a trusted certificate provider would have to have validated that domain. Now that you have a primer, I can now explain the many problems. And don't worry, later in the video, I can tell you how to spot these anomalies and know that your encryption is being cracked. Number one, private key compromise. The first problem is that, as I said, anyone that has the private key can decrypt the internet traffic into that website during the period that the private key is valid. So if the tech person in charge of creating the servers makes a mistake and accidentally allows access to the private key, then some hacker will be able to intercept that traffic to that website. Three-letter agencies make a habit of scouring devices for private keys. Let's say there's some old Google server hard drive with a private key on it that was used in 2020. A three-letter agency capturing a recording of encrypted internet traffic in 2020 would be able then to decrypt everything during that time period that certificate was active. You can see here that it doesn't even require that the key is used today. By the way, usually this kind of attack is limited to three letters and governments. Number two, trusted authority goes rogue. This has happened several times in history, and I will relate a big story later. But another example of this was that a Chinese company who was a trusted authority to distribute certificates started issuing fake certificates with domains like google.com, facebook.com, etc. If this rogue authority issued a fresh certificate with the name google.com, then someone in China could intercept traffic intended for google.com and have it go through a proxy that serves as a man in the middle, or MITM. Since this proxy has its own google.com and has the private key, it can decrypt all the traffic. This proxy will then forward the traffic to the real google.com, and no one would be any wiser. This actually happened, but Google discovered it. How? Well, users who use Chrome will actually have a current public certificate stored inside Chrome, hard-coded in. This means Chrome can compare a current certificate against what is being shown publicly. If the two don't match, then there's a man in the middle. Having a reference of actual Google certificates inside Chrome is called certificate pinning, and it is the defense that Google uses to ensure that no one is cheating, at least with respect to Google. Fortunately, they can do this easily since Chrome is updated very frequently. And Google is now a subordinate certificate authority. Number three, fake root authority. Now, this technique I will mention is used in the corporate world a lot for surveilling internet traffic inside an enterprise. It is also used by cybersecurity people to track traffic in a device they control using decrypting tools. This is also used by countries that want to enforce surveillance within their borders. The way to completely break down any kind of TLS encryption is to be certified as a root certificate authority. There's no actual legal procedure to do this. It's quite simple to do. Root certificates are stored on your computer by the maker of the OS. So you have a predetermined list of valid root authorities. But your employer owns your computer, so your employer inserts another root certificate on there, and it is their own. And you are prohibited by your IT department from messing with your computer. This basically makes the corporate entity that issued your computer a trusted organization that can issue any certificate for any domain as long as the domain certificate points to the rogue root certificate, which means they can have a private key for any domain they create and then can intercept such traffic that is flowing through their network. Or they can just use some wildcard domain name and have a private key for it so they can see everything. Fortunately, this is not going to work with Google Chrome since it has a PIN certificate, or with any app that has a PIN certificate.
I hope that he wasn't too dry for you guys. I know how Rob is. He's very technical. But I love him, man, because you know what? The thing about him is and it's true, man, he really, really loves his audience. He really cares about people, man. And he puts all this information out. And he does sell, a phone that is a non-Google phone, Absolutely. But think about that. It's like me. He's like me. I tell everybody about cannabis because I love everybody and want everybody to know about it. But I did for a long time, I sold triage oil, which was basically a representation of everything I stood for. And he's the same way, man. He's got a product too that's a representation of getting out of the fucking government's spying eyes. And he offers that product. It's something that it's not like he's there to make money off of his audience. And you can tell when you watch his show, man, he's all about getting you the information. And the fact that he's come up with a solution, an answer to it, it just makes him that much better, So check out Rob Braxman Tech. And he talks about all kinds of cool stuff. How to secure your phone and your data and your information, and be safe from the government and stuff like that is his specialty, though. But he's got 394,000 subscribers for a reason. Let's see. Is this the society you want? Let's see what he has to say about this.
Some dude made a comment on my video, basically laughing at me and saying that what I teach is basically to tell people that they can't function in society. Apparently, without the standard tools of normie apps and normie phones, it's the equivalent of telling all of you to move to a cave lifestyle.
I like how he says that. I like how the music comes in and you're just like tss, 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 while he's talking.
That comment was completely insulting, and not just to me, but to all of you who understand that there's just something not right about how technology is moving us to a particular kind of society. And to be frank, I'm a very tech-oriented person. I have the latest technology.
He's Rob Braxman
I
Tech.
don't feel like I'm losing out in any way. I just know what technology is dangerous and what is not. I know how to circumvent the dangers. The question is, do you even understand what this dude is saying? He's saying you need to conform to whatever the new technology is. No holds barred. There's no such thing as dangerous technology. You need to accept what is given by big tech because it is for your own good. And yet, when you actually realize what you're agreeing to, I'd like to find out if this is what you really want.
That'd be so funny if then he showed a scene from freaking Terminator.
One of the clues that we're being screwed left and right by technology is the ubiquitous
Cheers, Jim. Cheers, Steve Running, and everyone else that's on the Rumble sphere.
Does anyone actually read the terms of service? Do you actually know what you're allowing these tech companies to do? Well, the main thing about the terms of service is typically how a platform collects more data than you think, and how that data is kept forever. And this is the problem. From 10 years of age, parents are already foisting mobile phones to young people, and we are training these kids to not care. It is more important that they do what's hip.
Cheers.
And maybe the kids can participate in the tech gold mine by being social media stars on TikTok. So why not?
See that?
But do you know what you are actually giving up when you use apps and technology and you don't care? I'm going to tell you what you agreed to, but don't ask me for proof in this video. If you're really interested, I have plenty of videos explaining everything in great detail. But each statement I make is truth and based on the understanding of the technology.
I love that.
The first thing you've given up with the new technology is the ability to have a private location. That capability is gone, and for many of you, it is no longer possible to hide it. The first false expectation is that somehow you can turn off location tracking. You think there's a way to do that, but the more cavalier you are with location info, the more likely it is that it will be impossible to not show your exact location, basically to any party. And this includes people who want to do you harm, like stalkers, doxers, and hackers. And unfortunately, some of this privacy damage is permanent. Each iPhone or Google Android has 24/7 location tracking. These two companies know where every phone is at any time. The basic feature that allows this is called Wi-Fi scanning. There's no switch to turn this off. But the worst violator is Apple. Even iPhone tracking is on steroids when the phone is turned off. iPhones will be trackable at all times as long as there's a smidge of battery power. This smidge of battery power can allow tracking for a year. This uses a new technology for tracking called Bluetooth BLE and is tied to a tracking network called the Apple Mesh Network. Locations alone reveal a lot about you. Google and Apple can track every user on a map and can associate you to your activities and beliefs, as I will discuss later.
Wow.
The point is, if you willy-nilly ignore the consequences of this tracking, then every place you've ever been in...
You understand that a chat GPT or any kind of a AI or whatever eventually is going to be able to tap into all of this information instantly and be able to geolocate anybody, send a drone to fucking kill you, a drone the size of a fucking bumblebee. You wouldn't even see it coming. It'll just make them. It'll make its own, dude. It'll just, because of some cunt like Elon Musk, this thing is going to be able to manufacture its own shit. It's going to manufacture shit that will be able to manufacture its own shit. Yeah. You can't even, if you're not thinking along these lines of this technology, you're never going to get it. Because, they're already basically there. I've seen some of the sickest shit in the last 2 years. The technology is just a monster. It's like it feeds itself now. There's no stopping it. It's 420. Damn it. I just put this bowl out. Damn it, Jimmy. Damn it, Jim.
Oh, man.
Damn it, Jim, it's a bung. Damn it, Jim, are you out of your Vulcan mind?
Yes, actually. But
okay.
That's beside the point.
Cheers, Jim. Cheers, Steve. Cheers, Rumble. That's Skato Raider.
How am I doing?
Australia's fact, mate. Or Skater Raider. Australia's fact, mate. Cheers to all of you. No organic cannabis. We smoked the big bongs.
Smoke this bowl.
That was my favorite. That's it.
The freaking Oracle.
Oracle.
There is a video about China or Japan in 2018 that AI bots killed people and that they destroyed one unit and it was able to connect to the internet and was able to results itself. Better look it up.
Where the fuck is Billy Valentine? That is a movie. That's a movie. Let's write it today. That shit really happened, though. AI bots killed people. What? Able to results itself?
Josh G. Does AI get us before the climate?
I'm afraid so, bro.
Maybe that's the
it's
accelerator
moving
for the
faster.
psychos trying to bring
It's
fourth
moving
sentient
faster,
AI.
dude.
They don't realize
Technology's
what
moving
kind of
faster
can of
than
worms
climate.
we're opening.
It's a good.
Sputnik 55. In the UK CU case where a woman died and they were doubting murder because no mobile devices in the area at the time.
They were doubting murder because no mobile devices.
The freaking Oracle. Rebuild itself.
So all a murderer or a wannabe murderer has to do is leave their fucking cell phone somewhere and go kill someone, and no one will be able to figure out who killed him because they'll be checking cell phones all day. Oh, well, you weren't there. Yeah, because I carry my cell phone with me wherever I go. At all times, especially when I go to murder people. You gotta look at people now and be like, what the fuck were you thinking, you idiot? My cell phone device was tracking my every location and move. Rebuild itself.
Billy Ballantyne.
Oh.
Gonna throw a party in Cornville. Calling it micro rave.
Dude, it rebuilt itself, dude.
Josh G.
We're so fucked, bro.
There's a game called Horizon Zero Dawn with a follow-up called Forbidden West based off that idea Oracle. Great game.
I don't... Billy. Oh, Billy is here, everybody. Billy. A micro rave.
What about the waffle, what was it, the waffle club or something like that?
Oh, God, why did you have to remind him? What is wrong with you?
No, it's true.
Hey, Billy, I think we found your first freaking member to your club.
No.
Yep, Jim.
I mean, I like waffles.
Jim's down.
I like waffles.
Jimmy is down, sir. He has stated as much. He's very interested in your waffle club, good sir. And by the way, you guys, Bitcoin has failed. Bitcoin has failed. Bitcoin has failed. Just so you all know, you guys, it's dropped to 23,733. And you know what that means? It means that it has gone under a level of resistance it was supposed to stay above. Because it's gone under this point, Bitcoin could totally free fall now. It's broken the resistance. So Bitcoin has failed, man, today. Harmony's at 23. So let's see where our thing is here. Our overall, right? Our overall buy-in. Now remember, we spent 34,500.
Billy Ballantyne. Waffle
So,
Club strong.
What are we, 19,000?
And it's Blue Waffle Wednesday.
We got $19,000 in profit
Scores.
still.
Oh no, I don't want those. I don't want that, Billy. No, I just want the big. No. And, you know.
He's refusing your Blue Waffle offer,
Well.
Billy.
Yeah.
He's saying no.
Yeah. I thought we were. I should have known. You know.
You had waffles on your brain, bro. I got a new name for you. Jim's like, I want a tough name. I got one for you, Jim. We're gonna call you Wafflehead because it's always on the brain. You're always thinking about them waffles.
Yeah,
And Billy is just there waiting. He's like a spider with a web, a waffle web, if you will, waiting for Jim to just
Billy
stumble
Ballantyne.
into it.
That's initiation. He's out.
Well, okay, sorry. I'm out. Whatever. enjoy waffles. I like the idea of a waffle iron in the morning. Kill me. Sorry.
My mumsy doesn't make waffles. I, however, did make waffles in the California home. I have a waffle iron there. I've got 2 waffle irons in California.
That's the only way to have
What good am I? I got so much cool shit in California. Oh my god. All my stuff's in California with a guy that's crazy, losing his mind. Don't creep up on that house, bro. Oh my god. There is a crazy man living in it.
It's not funny, but
What's that?
it's not funny. I hope all your stuff's like okay.
He's crazy in a good way. He's good crazy. There's good crazy and bad crazy.
Yeah. Okay.
Chuckles is crazy.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. But yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if Corn Pop's here. He shouts out, Corn Pop! AKA Fishcack 184330002.
See Chuckle's new picture that he has with him and his pit bull? Used to be just like a jester hat.
Bro, that's my dog.
That's
Roscoe.
Roscoe. Oh, is it? Oh,
Yeah, that's Chuckles and Roscoe in that picture.
Okay, all right.
That's an old picture. That's gotta be, 15.
I thought that
15, at least a 15-year-old photograph. He uses it still.
Oh.
Love it. It's like shouts out Roscoe.
Hell yeah. That dog is I just watched it on the internet and I just go like,
What is going on this Rumblesphere, Mr. Skater Raider? Skater Raider has left the building, I'm assuming. But we're good. We're good. We're good. You guys want me to tell you what's going to happen with crypto? We're going to have a nice correction back up. It's going to happen right now. That's me thinking positively.
Billy Ballantyne.
Controlling the world.
It's so nice out now.
With my butterflies.
80 in the mountains. I can already smell moonshine stills and cousin sex.
I'm sending out my butterflies to the crypto world right now. Watch. It's going to happen. Watch. Watch. See, watch this. Look. What just happened when I did that? Look. Look at the volume coming into Bitcoin. Right there. Right there. See that? See that right there? That's volume. You know what that is? That's this. That is my butterfly effect. I send it around the world, and I reverse the dropping market as I speak. I've seen enough of this falling market, and I command Bitcoin, personally, to reverse its direction and go upwards. For it is in my power. I don't have to wear the same pair of dirty jeans day after day like that martini guy did. I do it with my butterfly wings and my style and my snazzy voice. Rise, Bitcoin! Arise, chicken! Chicken, arise! Arise, chicken! Chicken and rice! Chicken and rice! Arise, chicken! Chicken and rice! Tasty! Arise, chicken! Chicken, arise! Arise, chicken! Chicken, arise! Butterfly! So, bro, I'm doing this out of desperation because we're 23,710 right now. We're like the whole market. This is like a very pivotal moment. And I want you to take a look at something, okay? Look. Notice how low this area is. This is the last 3 or 4 hours or so. This is the lowest we've been in weeks. Understand that. That's where we are. We're at the lowest we've been in weeks. Okay? If you look at these, I mean, it was dropping and everything was okay. It seemed like it was going to correct and everything was going to be fine, and then it just plummeted, and it wanted to retest this, and it retested exactly at 23,600. And that just happened. So, I mean, I can look at the patterns, but, you know, we had a pretty big head and shoulders happen right here. Shoulder, head, shoulder, and luckily there's a shoulder head right here. So it could drop again down to around 690. And then if it reverses at 690, we'll have a shoulder head shoulder pattern. But the basis for why I think it's turning right now is the fact that over the last 24 hours, exactly, the entire market has been falling as a whole. There was a recovery period here on Matic. It's pretty big right there. But for the most part, I mean, we're dropping down, dropping down, dropping downwards, dropping downwards. You can see the trend, right? The trend is your friend. Everything's probably in red right now. Everything except Floki is in red. Floki, XTZ, KDA. Everything else is in the red that we're watching. Harmony 1's down low here. Look at that. Negative 8.76. Rogi's making funny noises. So this is what I'm assuming we just wanted to go down here and retest this. But what I think is going to happen is it's gonna shoot back up, and it's gonna be like, you know, a massive recovery. Hopefully. I could be wrong, man. There's nothing in the chart to say to me that that's what's going to happen, except it's a falling wedge pattern. That says it to me. But it's more of a feeling about where crypto is today and where the average crypto entity is today. And I think we're about to fucking blast off. So, based on the falling wedge pattern too, you know, it's pretty obvious. They don't go on forever. You want to look for it to taper. Tapering and then break out upwards. Big, straight, huge volume. Someone walks up to the computer and, you know, in a big exchange, and they're like, "Oh shit! Look where we're at. We're down at 23,700. When you're supposed to buy that? All right, let me get that $500 million worth of Bitcoin right now. Let me just pick that up real quick. Click, and that's when we're just gonna go. Here we go. This is it, probably right here. 747, 745. 23,745. Big, massive volume spikes coming in. 747 taking off like a jet. Like a 747, baby. Look at this. $7.56. $7.52. Matic is pumping super hard right now. Ethereum is pumping super hard right now. Harmony 1 is pumping super hard, which is rare for when the rest of the market is taking off. It's right with it. Cardano is pumping. Binance is pumping. Look at this, guys. We're going to see a big flip right now, right as I call this. Over a feeling. This was a feeling I had. Look at this. Look. Look at this. Look where Bitcoin is now. It's right there. 779. 23,779. 23.93 on Harmony. 774 on Bitcoin. 23.95 on Harmony. 770 Bitcoin. Hold. This is a great, very, very, very powerful reconsolidation. 762, 769, 37.91. I'm sorry, 23.95 on Harmony, 23.96 on Harmony, 770 on Bitcoin, 23.96 on Harmony, 97 on Harmony. It's reconsolidating right now. This is a great reconsolidation. It's a green reconsolidation. We are in full on blast off mode, everybody. This is crazy. I totally saw this was going to happen. What's going to